6 out of every 100 people, which is 6% of the US population, will experience PTSD in their lifetime. With that, over 3 million new US cases are diagnosed every year. My goal with this speech is to inform you guys of this terrible disorder that is spreading through the nation. I've seen firsthand how this disorder affects a person and their family. PTSD is becoming more common every day. It doesn't hurt to be more informed on this topic. We will start with the causes and what exactly is PTSD. Then we'll look at the signs and symptoms and the treatment. With that said, why don't I start with giving some relative knowledge about this disorder. Post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD for short, is a disorder that develops in some people who have experienced a shocking, scary, or dangerous event in their life. These events may include natural disasters where a home is lost, or near-death experiences, or watching someone die in front of you. Any type of event that can be traumatizing, childhood trauma, abuse, anything that can inflict harm or mental harm on individuals. PTSD is caused from these fight or flight symptoms that we undergo in near-death experiences. These fight or flight symptoms in those diagnosed with PTSD, they don't fade with time. Normally people recover after these reactions to these awful events, but people who develop PTSD just can't get rid of those feelings and that shock and terror that they felt from those experiences. With PTSD, there comes triggers. Anything in their daily life that reminds them of that event can bring back those memories and cause more signs that come with PTSD and make people demonstrate how truly frightened that event caused. Now, knowing what causes PTSD is a start, but being able to spot when others may be suffering from it is extremely important. Some signs and symptoms of PTSD: there will be flashbacks of the event, nightmares, waking up screaming, sweating, just bad thoughts, having negative thoughts, suicidal thoughts or actions. Avoidance of contact with individuals. They tend to curl up just like an armadillo. When in danger, they curl up and get rid of the outer, they disregard all outer stimuli, and they cut themselves off from society and keep enclosed and sheltered so that no one can hurt them. There will be outbursts of anger from that event. These terrifying events obviously cause extreme reactions, and those extreme reactions can come out in outbursts of anger when, like, something small, like someone drops something and you just yell at them, you hammer at them, and you don't know where that anger came from. That could be the PTSD kicking in. And those with PTSD, they're always on edge. That fight or flight feeling gets them startled at any point in time from any stimuli that affect them and can cause them to react in any circumstance. Now, PTSD does not just affect adults. It can be seen in children with childhood trauma and the child abuse that we see nowadays, with parents just not doing what they're supposed to do with their children. Now, the signs and symptoms of children that are specific to them are different from the adults. Children can be seen wetting the bed in the morning from the nightmares, which is similar to adults, but they will wet the bed in more fear because they just can't control themselves. A lot of children, just like how an armadillo, they shut themselves off, and their type of avoidance is to completely stop talking. If they just learned how to talk, they will feel that maybe talking is what got them into that point, which is, that comes with childhood abuse. If an adult yelled at them constantly for talking back or something or hurt them, they will just stop talking completely. which is very scary for children that are learning how to talk and learning how to speak English. A lot of children, if they've been through traumatic experiences, can be seen acting out traumatic events. Like during a play day, if they're like playing with Legos, maybe the kid who has experienced extreme trauma will build something and act out the event that traumatized them in the first place, which can be quite frightening to watch. And then, of course, any child that's been through rough events can become clingy to parents and scared of the world around them, feeling that they can be hurt at any moment. Now, many mental illnesses go undetected or untreated. Luckily, there are ways to help those struggling with PTSD. There's different ways to help and treatments. You can get support from family and friends. That never hurts. Talking it out with your family and friends is one great way to get over mental illness. And support groups are wonderful. Being in a group with people who have gone through similar things and who are experiencing similar illnesses is extremely helpful to recovering from whatever you're experiencing. Therapy, of course, one-on-one with a therapist, with a trained professional. Psychotherapy, talk therapy, which is what I mean there. Just talking out your experiences, maybe rehashing what happened and reliving those events can help you get over it. There's antidepressants, because with PTSD can come depression. And just the treatments vary by individuals. There's all sorts of different treatments for all sorts of different people, because what helps with another person may not help for another. Maybe medications works for one, but medications don't work for the other, and so they have to go through therapy or actually discussing and talking what happened. A conclusion is that PTSD is obviously a terrible disorder that can cause a lot of suffering, but not all hope is lost for those diagnosed. PTSD is a terrifying disorder that sprouts from equally terrifying events in a person's life. The signs and symptoms of PTSD make daily life hard and almost impossible for someone suffering from this disorder. But you can never forget that there is hope. There are treatments out there. There is help you can get. The first step is speaking up, asking for help, acknowledging that you need help. PTSD is crippling the mental health of millions of Americans every year. Everybody experiences traumatic events, which is why we need to prevent mental illnesses born from trauma. It doesn't take much. Something as simple as being there to talk to someone and support them can be the difference between life and death. Thank you.